Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving into a game-changing study technique that has been taking the academic world by storm. It's called active recall, and it's all about optimizing your learning and memory retention. Let's explore why this technique is gaining popularity among students seeking academic success. Introduction: Active recall is a highly effective study technique that has gained popularity among students seeking to optimize their learning and memory retention. Unlike passive study methods like rereading or highlighting, active recall actively engages the brain in retrieving information from memory, solidifying connections, and reinforcing learning. By challenging the brain to recall information without external cues, active recall enhances long-term memory and understanding. The basics of active recall. At its core, active recall involves recalling information without relying on external aids, such as notes or textbooks. This can be done through techniques like self-quizzing, flashcards, or summarizing information from memory. The act of actively retrieving knowledge strengthens neural pathways and creates a deeper understanding of the subject matter. The act of actively retrieving knowledge during active recall is essential because it engages the brain in a process called memory consolidation. When information is recalled from memory, the brain actively reconstructs the neural pathways associated with that knowledge. With each successful retrieval, these pathways become more robust and easier to access in the future. This consolidation of memory reinforces learning and makes the information more resistant to forgetting. Active recall is particularly beneficial for long-term memory retention. It helps transfer knowledge from short-term memory, which has a limited capacity, to long-term memory, where information can be stored indefinitely. By actively recalling information at spaced intervals over time, learners reinforce their memory and strengthen their ability to retain the material for more extended periods. Moreover, active recall enhances conceptual understanding. When learners actively retrieve information, they engage in deeper processing of the material, making connections with prior knowledge and real-world applications. This process aids in forming strong mental models and facilitates the ability to apply knowledge in various contexts. How active recall differs from passive learning. Passive learning methods, such as reading or listening to lectures, allow information to wash over the student without active engagement. On the other hand, active recall requires an individual to participate actively in the learning process, making it a more efficient and productive way of studying. The science behind active recall. The science behind active recall is grounded in principles of cognitive psychology and memory consolidation. Active recall is a study technique that involves actively retrieving information from memory without relying on external cues or aids. This process is highly effective due to the way our brains encode and consolidate memories. When we first encounter new information, it is held in our working memory, which has limited capacity and is susceptible to forgetting. However, when we actively recall that information, we engage a process known as memory retrieval. Memory retrieval triggers the reconstruction of neural pathways associated with the learned material. These pathways are strengthened with each successful retrieval, making it easier to access and recall the information in the future. This phenomenon is known as the testing effect or retrieval practice effect. During the retrieval process, the brain actively reinforces connections between related concepts and integrates new information with existing knowledge. This process of making connections and reinforcing neural pathways is crucial for long-term memory retention and deeper comprehension of the subject matter. Additionally, active recall promotes a concept known as desirable difficulty. This means that when learning is slightly challenging and requires effortful retrieval, the brain is more likely to encode and retain the information. It is this struggle in recall that leads to stronger memory consolidation. Research has shown that active recall outperforms passive study techniques, such as rereading or highlighting, in terms of long-term retention and understanding. While passive methods might give a false sense of familiarity, active engagement through retrieval practice leads to more durable learning. Another significant aspect of active recall is the process of spaced repetition. When learners actively retrieve information at spaced intervals over time, memory consolidation is enhanced. Spacing out study sessions allows for better retention and prevents the forgetting curve from eroding the learned material. The science behind active recall is not limited to any specific learning domain. Whether studying for exams, learning new skills, or grasping complex concepts, actively recalling information strengthens memory and enhances the ability to apply knowledge effectively. Spacing and interleaving with active recall. Combining active recall with spaced repetition and interleaving further improves learning outcomes. Spacing out study sessions over time and interleaving different subjects or topics helps strengthen memory retention by reinforcing the recall process. Implementing active recall with flashcards. Flashcards are a popular tool for practicing active recall. By creating flashcards with questions or prompts on one side and answers on the other, students can quiz themselves and actively retrieve information. Summarization and active recall. Summarizing information from memory is another potent active recall technique. By condensing complex concepts into concise summaries, students must recall and organize their understanding of the subject matter. The power of self-questioning. Asking yourself questions about the material and answering them from memory is an excellent way to practice active recall. This technique not only reinforces learning but also helps identify gaps in knowledge. Applying active recall to real-world scenarios. One of the remarkable features of active recall is its applicability to various learning situations. Whether preparing for exams, learning new skills, or understanding complex concepts, active recall can be adapted to suit different learning needs. Active recall for conceptual understanding. Active recall is particularly beneficial for grasping complex or abstract concepts. By repeatedly retrieving and reorganizing information, learners can form stronger mental models and connect seemingly unrelated ideas. Combining active recall with metacognition, or thinking about one's thinking, can be integrated with active recall to enhance learning further. Reflecting on how well you retrieved information during the study session can help identify areas that need more focus. Overcoming initial challenges. While active recall may seem challenging at first, with consistent practice, it becomes easier and more effective. Initial struggles with recall are natural, and overcoming them is a part of the learning process. Avoiding illusion of competence. Merely recognizing information during passive study can create an illusion of competence. Active recall ensures true understanding by testing retrieval and comprehension. Active recall for long-term retention. Many students struggle with retaining information beyond the exam period. Active recall aids in transferring knowledge from short-term to long-term memory, leading to lasting retention. Creating a personalized active recall routine. Every student has different learning preferences and needs. Creating a personalized active recall routine that incorporates various techniques ensures an efficient study process. Active recall in digital learning environments. With the increasing integration of technology in education, active recall techniques can be seamlessly applied through digital tools and apps designed for self-quizzing and spaced repetition. Collaboration and active recall. Active recall need not be a solitary activity. Group study sessions can incorporate active questioning, discussion, and explanation, promoting a deeper understanding of the material. Maintaining motivation and discipline. Consistency is key to reaping the benefits of active recall. Maintaining motivation and discipline throughout the learning process is essential to make the most of this technique. Conclusion: active recall is a powerful study technique that empowers learners to take control of their education actively. By engaging the brain in the process of retrieval and consolidation, students can enhance their understanding, retain knowledge for the long term, and ultimately achieve academic success. In a world filled with vast amounts of information, active recall serves as a beacon of effective learning. Embracing this technique can not only improve academic performance but also instill a love for lifelong learning, enabling students to approach any subject with confidence and curiosity. That's it for today's video on mastering learning with active recall. We hope you're as excited about this technique as we are. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you won't miss our next video, where we dive deeper into the implementation of active recall. Thanks for tuning in, and happy studying!